kid.
Well, make sure you take the doors off it, because if I learned anything from watching Punky Brewster in the 80s, it's that if you leave a fridge with doors on it, a little kid's going to crawl inside and get stuck and maybe suffocate and die.
Man, taken out by a magnet. Magnetic door.
Not even magnet, like the seal.
I don't know that I want to be a kid killer.
No, not at all.
I can't believe you have to consider it.
You don't know?
An accidental kid killer.
You don't know?
I'm undecided on this whole kid killing thing.
I don't really want that, but...
And this will be our last Twitch broadcast on the Checkpoint XP.
I was about to say, as much as I'm enjoying that we did not officially say hello to Twitch, we just started recording with the whole fridge story. I feel like we've hit the point where I have to say, welcome everybody to this week's recording of Nerd Radio on Twitch. My name is Chuck Bean. This is Mr. James to my left.
No children will die during the recording of this podcast.
Al Beck is to my right. We're recording our podcast for release on Friday morning. We like to do it here on Checkpoint XP Studio because that way they let us record in their studio.
Yeah,
and
to play with all the fancy toys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really good. It's a lot of fun. So we're gonna get started recording here in a second. Of course, you can communicate with us in the Twitch chat. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Nerd Radio 101, and of course download the podcast wherever you get your podcast when it goes up Friday morning. Okay, do we have any other business to take care of before we get started here?
No, we're rolling over here.
Okay. Welcome to this week's Nerd Radio on the podcast page at WRIF.com. I'm going to lean it on you guys heavy this week.
Are you?
Where else can they download us, Al?
Rock929rocks.com, and they can watch us live on Twitch as we record this.
Twitch.tv/checkpointxp.
Fantastic.
And we do that around 11:30 on Wednesdays, typically.
Yeah, exactly. We got a kind of a loose schedule.
Yeah.
We're here around 11:30 to 1 o'clock, and we record the podcast, and then I put some bells and whistles on it. It goes up on Friday morning.
Keeping it loose.
Right. So as I said earlier,
I think we might even put some of these up on YouTube or something. We've talked about it.
I've been working on it. We're gonna put together a YouTube channel, and we're gonna start putting segments from the show up on. And according to Checkpoint, they repeat the show at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays as well.
Oh,
so,
hey,
thanks, guys.
That? Cool.
We're so good. We have reruns.
We didn't even know.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. There's Checkpoint. The Checkpoint guys are doing stuff when I'm not looking.
Yeah.
So I enjoy this surprise of we're also on at 6.
Yeah.
Neat.
I know there was somebody, I think, again, we maybe talked about this, but James shared a video. We all have been sharing videos on our separate social medias, and I think James had shared it, and a listener was like, "Oh God, you guys have video now?" Like, no one's more shocked than us.
It's a rare thing when we are actually on the forefront of technology. But also thanks to the Checkpoint XP guys. I know they're just really desperate for content.
Clearly,
we just need more content for the channel.
They're willing to let us
give them a rerun.
Right.
Nerd Radio, desperate for content.
You give me those all the time. It would be so much work to go back and find all of them and use them, but it's still always funny to me.
You know what? We can always just record new ones.
Yeah, for sure. But as I was about to say, so this is a week where I'm especially sensitive to being on camera because I may look a little pale. I've been down with a little bit of a temperature for the last couple of days, and it's been exciting. I've learned to time travel.
Yep. Well, James we got patient zero over here.
Fine. No, I'll tell you who patient zero is. Screaming Scott.
Hey.
Yeah, because I saw him. I was here Sunday morning, and it felt fine. And I did my overnight, and then Screaming Scott was in for Steve Black Sunday morning. I saw him, and he didn't say nothing. I was just like, hey, Screaming, okay, I'm going to go home and go to sleep, something like that. And I went home, and by the time I got home, I was like, I don't feel so good. And I went to sleep, and I woke up 6 hours later. I was like, I feel awful. I am warm. I have the chills. This is awful.
He's got the diarrhea.
Yeah,
He's got the diarrhea.
That's what I was saying before we went on for the podcast today. Is that I've not been sick, like stomach sick, except for when I've eaten soup.
James over there with his Sub-Zero mask.
Hey, I don't want the soup sickness that he's got.
I don't want any of the soup sickness.
I don't want any of the soup sickness. My last name's Campbell. It's already soup related.
But so I'm here and with you guys, and there was a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about this week. So I had to okay, I'm going to rest up. I'm going to get as good as humanly possible so I can come in and do Nerd Radio at the very least.
Yes.
Well, thank God you're here to infect us all.
Yes.
You're here to infect us, but as we've discussed before, James and I left it just to us. Nothing would get done.
I know there was in my head yesterday, I was like, there is a chance I will wake up tomorrow morning and just have to send a text going like, I don't know what you guys want to do, but I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
The Twitch stream is just Al and I just spinning around in the chairs.
Here's
there's the buzzer.
Oh, we broke it. There we go. That's fixed. Okay.
Here's what happens when when Chucky is not here.
Yeah.
If you thought the show was nuts before, here's what happens when Chuck's not here to keep it together.
Yeah.
I'm just running around with my shirt off.
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook this was your 2-year anniversary of getting shot in the nuts.
Oh
yeah.
The paintball.
Yeah.
Ting.
Eagle Eye Dave shot me right in the nuts with
Right.
the paintball gun. It might have actually been like 3 years ago. I think I shared the 2-year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
So it might have been 3 years. I don't know.
Excellent.
It's been a while since I've been shot with the paintball gun, and I'm happy about that.
I know that's it. There hasn't been a lot of you and a man thong stunting.
Was that inspired by Dave's brilliant idea to try and get a blind woman to shoot a gun?
That's exactly what it's
That's
from.
what it was.
Because he was saying he doesn't think blind people would be able to shoot anything. They shouldn't be allowed to get a gun permit. And then we had a listener call in, and she's like, I'm blind. I'd like to take a shot at it. Like, no pun intended.
Yeah.
So we set it up, and I was the target, you know?
Yeah.
I ended up being the target at the end. I don't remember why, because I just wanted to be able to print up big, huge targets of me on paper,
right?
Like that we have hanging up in my little studio area.
Yeah, that's still up there, is it? Or did you take it down? Okay, yeah.
No, it's up there.
Well, it's a big, giant cutout for people who haven't seen it of you in your man thong, and it's huge. And it used to hang in the bathroom.
Yes, it did. I was about to say that.
So it's really uncomfortable when you're going to the bathroom. You got your dick in your hands, and there's James in a man thong staring at you.
Staring over your shoulder.
But then of course...
Hey, wiggle it once, it's okay. Wiggle it twice, that's okay. Wiggle it 3 times. Al, you're playing with yourself.
Judgment James.
Yep.
Just in the bathroom. But the funny thing is now it's in your office. You know, and you and I have a lot of stuff that we overlap on in our responsibilities producing the morning show. So a lot of times we're standing there talking to each other, and it's usually in the office, and you're sitting in your chair, and I'm usually leaning up against your dong on the wall.
Yeah, Al's like faces right next to it. I'm like, Al, you gonna give my wiener a kiss while you're over there?
Yeah, it's a fairly regular occurrence.
It might be his happy place. Who knows?
Well, it should be a lot of people's happy place.
So yeah, that was essentially my weekend. Like I said, at one point I felt so. I was running such a temperature that I learned how to time travel, because I would think I fell asleep, or I was laying in bed and I would close my eyes and I would be like, man, I've been laying here for like, I don't know, 45 minutes, something like that. And I'd open it, I'd look, and it'd only been like 7.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wow.
It's actually a kind of good time travel, especially if you're tired and sleepy. You're
it's
it's got to have been an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
It's better than that, like, alarm goes off and he's like, I just shut my eyes. Kind of thing. But yeah, like it happened enough times that I took note of it. And I was like, man, if I could figure out how to make this work and not run 102-degree temperature, this would be great.
Now the trick would be if you could figure out how to make it work and change the future by adjusting things in the past. Now that's a real time travel.
Yeah.
Timey-wimey. I like it.
But as far as that, how about you guys? What was your weekend like? Anything? You're
moving,
still moving, right?
So moving and painting and fixing up a house and just spending buttloads of cash on things you never think you'd have to spend a buttload of cash on, like paint and paint thinner and tape.
What's the price of paint? Is it shocking? How much
$30 a gallon.
Oh, see,
you buy a 5-gallon bucket, you're looking at like $120.
Oh, well, okay,
it adds up quick. I'm trying to think of what the hell I did over the weekend. I have no idea.
You had your nephew playing VR.
I did.
I remember seeing that.
Oh, thank God, someone knows what my life is. I don't.
Hi, I'm James. I'm Al Beck's keeper of his life.
This is 2 weeks in a row I set him up for something and he's got no idea.
I have no idea.
The only man who's clueless about what's going on in his own life.
Seriously, I was sitting here wondering. You're like, oh, what did you guys do this weekend? I'm sitting like, what the hell? I mean, I know I watched like an episode or two of Voyager. Wrath of Khan was on. I watched like half of Wrath of Khan. Like, no, nothing happened. I definitely didn't have my nephew over, but yeah, I did.
Yes, you did.
For all of Saturday.
Like, I remember seeing a story or something. You had your nephew playing some game. He had the VR on. He looked like he was kicking ass. He was picking up guns and like shooting things. I'm like, I wish I was playing VR right now.
It's not even like he was there for 10 minutes like my sister dropped in on me. He was there for 9 hours, and I forgot.
All day.
He was there all day. Yeah.
Well, we know Al's future is not going to include running a daycare.
let's face it, I'm almost 33 years old, already have Alzheimer's, so it's just downhill from here, all right? But, yeah, no, he came over. He did his normal. He usually goes Grand Theft Auto 5. That's his go-to.
Yes.
And so he did that a bunch.
How old is he again?
He'll be 10 in December.
You're the best uncle.
Yeah, so,
He's like, hey, Uncle Al, watch me pick up this prostitute. Watch this. You know what she can do in this game? Wow. I don't know what she's doing with her mouth, but she's doing something. Now watch. I'm going to get out of the car. I'm going to get my money back.
Yeah.
Uncle Al, watch. I'm beating a homeless man with a crowbar.
It is funny to me because he's a really, really smart kid for a 10-year-old, and he's really, just period, but like for a 10-year-old, he's able to really separate the reality and, the fact that it's a video game. So, I mean, like, some of the stuff, just the ambient noise, speech, there's a lot of swearing and there's a lot of really messed up stuff that just happens, is said.
Yeah, people
and
are
he
just saying.
blows right by it. I've never caught him swearing, and like he's very polite and whatever else.
Key, you've never caught
him.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. When he goes to school,
right,
that's when it all comes out.
Right. But no, he's a good kid. He really is. But the last time he had me over, it's well established, my obsession with MASH.
Yes.
And so I pick up my nephew, and I'm driving to my apartment, and I had done some like cleaning or whatever. I had a couple more chores to do, and I just kind of gave him the heads up, like, hey, just so you know, when we get there, I got a few more chores I got to do, but you'll be playing the video game. I'm sure you don't mind. And he just goes, let me guess. You're going to do laundry and watch MASH. Big surprise. Give me a hard one. You little dick. Are you kidding me? Little smart ass.
You're getting shit from a 10-year-old.
I know. And yes, that's exactly what I got to do. Who asked you? Getting trolled. Constantly trolled by 10-year-olds.
Right.
My nephew, Chuck the Freak's son, we got trolled at Star Wars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He does not find us funny at all, by the way.
Not many do.
Well, it's true,
I was going to say, our this particular show is not for 10-year-olds.
No,
not at all.
No, we were. Chuck and I were riffing on a Han. We went and saw Solo.
Yes,
and we were riffing on a Han Chewbacca love story, like a When Harry Met Sally thing. And me and Chuck are laughing our asses off. We think it's hysterical, and Rowan's right between us, just.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are some things at Universal, and one of them is no matter what your dad does, it's lame.
Yeah, he's. I was told
Dave Grohl's kids probably just hate, like, oh, Dad, you're having the ZZ Top guys over again.
Right. Chuck told me that if I come up in conversation at home, Rowan's response is like, "Oh, the Han and Jeff guy. Yeah, he's funny." It's like a year ago, and he's still giving me a hard time.
You are not a hit with the younger crowd.
No. My age group is 70 and above. I relate to them.
Well, it's the one thing you can relate to them with, like, it's the types of foods you eat, the TV shows you watch, your bedtime. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. There's not much else to relate to anybody with, you know?
I was asleep before 7:30 last night. I'm not going to lie about it.
Well, I saw that on Instagram, one of our videos that you posted, you were going back and forth with this nice younger lady that said she's getting us all Moby Dick for Christmas. Because I thought you'd read the book. And you're like, no.
Captain Picard. Captain Picard movie.
Well, I hope she doesn't waste her money on a copy for everybody, because I won't be reading it.
I know, right?
Just give me the Cliff Notes.
We'll pass it around.
No, it was very nice.
Just get the one copy.
My response was, I don't know how to read, so.
It's a nice gesture, but it'll go to waste.
All right, well, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but the Call of Duty beta test was last weekend. None of us played it, right?
No.
All right, moving on.
Dude, that cannot be what this podcast becomes, because if it's what did you watch and what did you read, I might as well just leave.
This is not going to happen.
This is not going to happen.
Saturday was also Batman Day, which we talked about last week.
Yeah.
I got a copy of that Batman Who Laughs book, which was pretty cool. But I made sure to celebrate Batman Day when I was actually here Sunday morning for the overnight. TBS was playing the original Michael Keaton Batman.
Nice.
Which I was super pumped about, which has the line, I quote, every time I go to the grocery store with Amy, because she likes to get the Planters can that's got the pecans and the and the almonds and stuff like that. And we'll be walking down the aisle.
Mixed nut. She likes a mixed nut.
We'll be walking down the aisle, and I was like, "You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts."
Nice.
So every time, like it's clockwork. I can't stop myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was on, and then instead of playing Batman Returns right after it, with Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito. They went straight to the Val Kilmer Batman movie.
Oh, come on.
Maybe they didn't have a license to it. I don't know, but it was ridiculous. And
What a tease.
Yeah,
Or
right.
they don't want to bring in like a Batman Christmas, because to me, that one is kind of like
It is
like
kind of
Christmassy.
Yeah,
you know?
there's a lot of snow and
Like-
everything, and it happens around
Yeah.
Christmas, for sure. That's definitely more Batman related. And speaking of Batman related stuff, DC revealed that the creative team that's taken over the Batman title after Tom King leaves after Batman 85.
I don't know if I'll know these names or not, but
Yeah, I'm curious to get your take on it, because they're people that have worked on Batman currently or in the past, but they're not names that necessarily make me want to continue reading the book. Starting with January's Batman 86, the new writer is going to be James Tynion IV. He's worked on Batman Eternal. He's doing Detective Comics and stuff like that. And I believe the artist will be Tony Daniel.
Is it guy from like a long
Tony S.
line
Daniel?
of Batman artists or whatever?
Long
If he's
line
the
of Batman
fourth,
writers.
like-
Tony S. Daniel wrote Batman and drew it for a little while. He's written
Yes.
it and he's drawn it. His stuff was good.
Yeah, it's all right, but it doesn't bring me to the table. It doesn't separate me from $4 a month.
I kind of feel the same way about both of those guys. They're guys that I won't show up for, but if they take over my book, I feel safe.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like when Grant Morrison took over Green Lantern. I was like, oh, son of a bitch!
I was
Kill me!
I saw our longtime buddy and listener Ghoul at the comic store the other day.
He might be the original Nerd Radio listener.
He might be.
He might be. He's hung in there with us longer than anyone else.
But I was
think.
explaining to him how small your comic book intake is these days.
Yeah.
About how Grant Morrison's doing Green Lantern. I can't stand him, so I'm not collecting.
No.
that.
I am collecting Green Lantern. I
are
love that
you?
character, and it kills me, especially because I have been enjoying Flash. I just haven't been doing reading.
Yeah.
So I dropped Flash, but kept Green Lantern because of the characters. I like Green Lantern better, but God damn it, Grant Morrison. I was actually kind of hoping maybe he'd be the new Batman or something, because if I got to pick between the two, I'd rather go Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might be ditching. I'm just not reading as much as I was.
For sure.
So I might be ditching Batman when, like you said, those guys, when they take over something I'm reading, I feel safe, but they're not necessarily going to keep me around either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, well, I got some more Batman news to do, but we're going to take a break here for the podcast listening crew. You can, of course, get a hold of us on our social media and on our email. Our email is the only throwback to our HD2 Rift 2 show, which also airs Wednesday nights at 10 p.m., and it's rift2nerds@gmail.com. But our social media past that is all Nerd Radio 101. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we're on Facebook. And we're back right here in just a minute with more Nerd Radio. You can do it.
Oh, I thought you were burping. I was like, I heard,
It did sound like a burp.
No, that was I'm fat and I reached across the table. That was a noise of distress.
the sounds of a fat man reaching across the table.
And
Fat man in his natural habitat, reaching across the table.
Yeah.
followed
Nerd
by-
Radio National Geographic's exclusive.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
we
night.
observe the nerd of the species.
Tomorrow night, fat man defecates in his natural habitat.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
His gamer chair.
Oh,
That's not the natural habitat.
don't you dare defecate in one of these chairs.
Oh, and it would make such a mess.
Don't you dare.
I'm sitting on a spaghetti strainer.
Actually, yeah, it'd be like the Play-Doh hair maker, Time to make the spaghetti.
It's a mesh chair.
My
It would be
spaghetti's brown.
The checkpoint guys would be so pissed.
Hey, that's the way to go.
They're not the only ones.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe we should defecate in the chairs. Like, we got to get rid of these. I'll take them. We'll take them in our studio downstairs.
You'll take the poop
Yeah,
chairs.
we'll take the poop chair.
Yeah, well, I'll just hose it right off.
Yeah. The joke will be on us though when they switch them.
That's
Yeah.
awful. I feel like you guys are playing a game of dare. It's like, how many awful things can we talk about before they're like, yeah, we're good.
Oh, Christ. Well, we burned all that material. Let's start a new segment.
Poop chair. Gross.
Oh, I'm glad the internet got that, though.
This might actually be a good little clip to pull for our video recaps
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah, 'cause it's
not
not-
part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Hear about what we really talked about
Yeah.
before and after the poop chair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make
Yeah.
have to make 2 run sheets now. Here's the stuff we're gonna talk about for the podcast, but you guys got to fill in stuff for the in between.
Yeah.
Nerd Radio. Entertainment only when the mics are off.
Yeah. It's been like that the whole time.
Yeah,
Now it's
it's
just
been,
captured by somebody else.
Yes, it is.
For the best in-between segment banter, Nerd Radio.
You know you want Nerd Radio.
Yes. This segment has been deemed too stupid for the internet. Delete.